Oh, this is the closest I've ever been to winning a game of hard mode. This is perfect. We basically won. Oh, come on! What's going on, everybody? Today, we are actually just going to sit back and learn the rules of dinosaur survival. I realize, and a couple people pointed out, that I have no explanation as to how to play the game. Just leaving all the gameplay completely out of context. So today, we're going to get into that, and we are going to go over the rules. The first thing I want to get introduced with is just like being comfortable and understanding what we're looking at with the cards. So there's two different types of cards. You got animal cards, which are all of these except for this one. And then you have event cards, which is this one. So for this example, this is the asteroid card. When it is played, the game usually ends. Or, well, the game ends. There will be actually more event cards coming in the expansion pack, so I'm excited to see how they're implemented. For the most part, you'll be dealing with cards like this. So, regular animal cards. And in the rules, we'll hear a couple of terms like environment, which is signified by this thing right here. And this one's white, this one's green. There's also a blue one. I did not get a blue card out, but there's a little blue one. And there's also one that has multicolors where it's green and white. That's a Quetzalcoatlus. It's a big flying reptile, and it also walked on land, so it gets a special little environment thing. Because at the end of the day, this game is supposed to be educational. A couple of other things you'll see is, of course, the name is just right there on all the cards. I do wish that David had put in pronunciations underneath the names, so that some of these that I don't know how to pronounce, which is all of these, could give me a chance to practice pronouncing them. After that, you will see if they're a herbivore or a carnivore. As you see by the meat for the carnivores, the little leaf for the herbivores, and then you'll see little colored gems. The gems are colored to if they're herbivore or carnivore. That's for single player, which we'll learn about a little later in the video. But right, you got one gem worth for this guy, which is this flying fella. Two gems worth for him, one for him, two for him, and a whopping 4 for the Titanosaur. They also have the period that they're from, and at the very bottom in the little white boxes is special information about them. The period and the information at the bottom don't dictate gameplay. It's just this information right here at the top, and these green boxes. What are these green boxes, you may ask? Well, if you've been reading, if you can see clearly enough, I know that these cards aren't crystal clear on the screen. They are effects, so they tell you what the card does. This one will eat one. This one will cause you not to discard. This one you get to scavenge from the discard pile. This one helps the game in single player. This one is immune from T-Rex, or all carnivore attacks, including the T-Rex. So there's only one card that can actually get rid of this, and it bounces it back into your hand instead of killing it, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, that's my explanation on the cards. Next, we're going to go over the universal rules. How to play universal rules. Rule number 1. The youngest player goes first, then proceed clockwise to the next player. Super self-explanatory. Rule number 2. Cards can only target other cards with the same environment unless specified. Rule number 3. At the end of your turn, you may only have 7 cards in your hand, unless specified. If you have more than 7, discard until you have 7 cards in your hand. 4. The game ends when at least one player has the required points for one round. All players with the required points or more points win. 5. All cards in the discard pile are placed face up. Draw, discard. 6. When drawing, players must start from the top of the specified deck or pile. Draw. 7. All cards are discarded face up. Discard. 8. A round is the time between when the specified player ends their last turn and the start of their next turn. 9. A turn is when a player is active. I think we all know what a round and a turn is. How to play single player. This is going to be the standard rule set for the normal difficulty, but we will explain the differences, so if you want to play easy or hard mode as we go through each of the number of rules. Rule number 1, you remove the asteroid card from the deck, unless you're playing hard difficulty. Rule number 2, the starting cards in hand are 5. If you're playing easy mode, you start with 6. If you're playing hard mode, you start with 4. Draw 2 cards at the start of your turn. If you have an old deck of the games and it hasn't, David hadn't had a chance to update the cards, it may say draw 1 and play 1. That is the old rule set for single player. David decided to make it draw 2, play 2, and the game draws 3 to make it more fun. Number 4, you play 2 cards per turn. Number 5, you will discard 1 card at the end of your turn, but if you're playing on hard mode, you discard 2. If you're playing on easy mode, you do not discard at the end of your turn. Number 6, green gems that are played count towards your score. All red gems count towards the carnivores, or the game. You can refer to it as the game or the carnivores. Number 7, after your turn, the game, or the carnivores, draws 3 cards. It plays all carnivore cards and discards herbivores. There's some carnivore cards the game will play that have interactions with the hand. You just ignore them and the game gets points for it, but there's no negative effect on your herbivores. Number 8, if the game would draw a card, it immediately plays that carnivore and discards the herbivores. 7 and 8 are kind of the same, but it's trying to emphasize that the game doesn't care about the green point cards. It gets rid of them and puts them in a discard pile. If it plays a red point card, it plays that and you have to read the effect that it has. 9. The game always targets your most valuable targeted card. On a tie, the player chooses. 10. If the game would draw from the discard, it only draws carnivores. The herbivores remain in the discard pile. The game will then play and resolve whatever the effect is of that drawn carnivore card immediately. 11. The game does not have a hand the player can target. 12. If the asteroid is drawn, the game wins. Of course, this only applies to hard mode. 13. If you gain 10 gems and keep them until your next turn, you win. Yeah, that's the game. For those of you who has been following along to the little simulation game in the background, you notice that I played 3 cards 1 turn, and that was actually because I had the Lystrosaurus card. His effect is that you get to play an additional card. With the original rules of single player, Lystrosaurus was the only way to play combos before the rule change. So, if that's the rules of single player, that's all the videos I've ever made before, so if you want to, check out some other videos I got. If not, we're going to move on to multiplayer. How to play with 2 to 4 players. You got the standard rule set for normal difficulty, but I'll explain the differences between easy, hard, and normal while explaining the normal rules. Your starting cards in hand are 5. With normal, if you're playing easy, you start with 4. If you're playing hard, you start with 6. Rule number 2, you will draw 2 cards at the start of your turn, unless you're playing easy, and then you draw 1. And if you're playing hard, you actually draw 3 at the start of your turn. Rule number 3, you will play 2 cards at the start of your turn, unless it's easy, and then you'll play 1. And if it's hard, you'll play 3. Rule number 4, you'll discard 1 card at the end of your turn. If you're playing easy mode, you do not discard. If you're playing hard, you will discard 2 cards at the end of your turn. And if the deck runs out before a player has won, and if you somehow lose the asteroid card and it doesn't end up getting played, the player with the most points wins. The way that you can win without hitting the asteroid or running out of cards is if you have a specified number of points held on to for a complete round. If you're playing with 2 players, you can have 20. You have to have 20 gems. If you're playing with 3 players, you have to have 15 gems, and if you're playing with 4 players, you have to keep 10 gems. I would say that if you end up playing with 5 players, that you would just not have a mid game end, and it will be in once the asteroid is hit or the deck runs out, you count up how many gems you have and the winner wins. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you play a card with the effect Defend, you will put that card down sideways to signify that it is defending for that turn, and then after that turn's over, you'll just turn it normal, so it looks like all the other cards, and everybody knows it's not defended anymore. That is the how to play 2-player rules. I'm going to try my best to have stuff in the background to display all of this stuff and give a good visual to what I'm explaining. But that is how you play the games. I decided I'm not going to put the rule cards on the screen, because if you like the game, you can buy the game and they'll come with their own instruction cards. What this video is really for the viewers, so that if you don't own the game, you can have a rough idea of how to play the game. And I also hope that watching me play the game makes you want to get the game. If you do end up wanting to try out Dinosaur Simulator, I'm getting a little confused there. Dino Survival. If you want to try Dino Survival, I do have a Discord. The link will be in the description and on the channel page. The last thing I wanted to mention is that down in the description, of course, we're going to have the links to the official how-to videos, as well as the Dino Survival website. On the Dino Survival, did I just have a stroke? On the Dino Survival website, you can get the game, and you also get updates to the rules of the games and stuff by checking the website too. You can also reach out to the creator on the website. And the last thing I want to mention is that I have officially launched a Discord. Yay! The link for that will be in the description as well. And yeah, we can post, reach out to me. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me if you have a game you want me to play, or if you just want to chat. Yep, links in the description. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. I tried really hard to make this tutorial both entertaining and informative. I hope I did a good job. Let me know in the comments below what I didn't do a good job on. Thank you guys, and bye-bye.